In this video, we will show you how to replace your ignition coil. Let's get started. Let's get started on replacing our ignition coils. Now you'll find that you have 4 on the passenger side of the engine that are pretty much out in the open. They're easy to get to. The 4 over on the driver's side are a little bit harder to access, so that'll be the side that we show you how to replace. Over on the driver's side of the vehicle, you'll find that you have your air inlet tube in the way of removing the coils. Let's get this out of the area. You'll find that you have a breather tube along the back side of this. Where my index finger is, there's a little tab. You can grab onto it, gently press it down, and pull this off of there. Once you have that off, continue on to this area. Use a flathead screwdriver or 8mm headed socket. Loosen this clamp just enough that you can carefully remove it from the air filter housing box. Now we can follow that air inlet tube all the way up to the clamp that holds it to the throttle body. Loosen that clamp and slide this out of the area. Set this aside. Now with that out of the way, you have a clear view of the entire driver's side of the ignition coils. The process will be the same for any of the coils. Underneath each of these, you'll find that you have a squeeze tab for the wiring harness. Grab that squeeze tab and gently pull the wiring off. Once you do, give it a quick check for corrosion and then set that aside. After you've disconnected the wiring harness, continue on to your 1 7mm headed mounting bolt that holds the coil to the engine. With the bolt out of there, you can grab onto the ignition coil. You'll notice that it's flexible in the area. That's because it has a rubber boot that goes from the bottom of the coil down to the top of the spark plug. We'll go ahead and grab onto this, give it a little wiggle, and lift it up and out of the engine. There it is, friends. Use some compressed air and clean the area. Okay, friends, let's get ready to install our ignition coil. Have a look at the bottom, where it goes onto the spark plug. Apply a thin amount of dielectric grease. This is only to be used as a lubricant so it does not get stuck on the spark plug. Continue on to sliding it down into the port in the engine, making sure that it slides directly onto that spark plug and press it all the way down. Once that's in position, continue on with your 7mm headed mounting bolt. We'll start this in, bottom it out, and then torque it to 53 inch-pounds. Continue on to your electrical connector. Make sure you have the push tab down along the bottom. Press it in, listen for a click, give it a little tug to make sure it's completely secure. At this point, the process will be exactly the same for any of the ignition coils. Once you're done on the driver's side, continue on to putting on your air inlet tube. We'll slide this in position on the air filter housing. Once you have it slid on there, continue on to the far end where it connects to the throttle body. Press that in as far as you can. Once you have both areas connected, tighten those clamps using your 8mm or flathead screwdriver. Double check to make sure they're both completely secured. You do not want any dirty or unmetered air making its way into the engine. Continue on to your breather hose. We'll slide that into place and listen for a click. Give it a tug to make sure that's secured as well. Okay, friends, we showed you how to do one of your ignition coils on the driver's side. As I said, the driver's side's a little bit harder to do because you have the air inlet tube. The process for the passenger side will be a lot easier. You don't have to remove the tube. At this point, you can go ahead and start up the vehicle. Let it run for a little while, make sure you don't have a check engine light or a running condition, and then take it for a road test. Thanks for watching.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.